You miss GTA RP? I mean, low-key, me too. I mean, I'm not going to sit here in front and say, like, oh, I don't care. Of course I care, you know? Like, it's a fucking good time playing with all the boys, right? Is it surrounded by some, bullshit? Is there some bullshit? Fuck yeah. Am I pissed that, you know, the people that invited me and, told me they'd address the situation to me and talk to me, am I pissed they decided to address Reddit first and instead and never get back to me? Yeah, I think it's a little, fishy, when you're kind of addressing Reddit and getting in the juice, getting into the heart of the drama of things and making use of that instead of like caring about what's supposed to be your baby, right? The game, deving the game, right? Playing in the game, making sure the game's good. You'd expect, reach out to me, I reach out to you, we talk it out. You say I don't get unbanned, fine, but at least we talked, right? But sheesh, like when you're fucking, getting on and addressing Reddit before addressing the person involved, I think that speaks for itself in my opinion, but it is what it is. You got banned, yeah, I'm permabanned. Which, there's a lot to say about it. There's nothing to say that's going to not cause drama. There's nothing to say that's going to do me any good. But I'm going to keep it $1.50. Okay? I've never seen a situation more like predetermined than this one. Like when I say predetermined, I'm talking like, have you seen those like, what's a good example for this? For example, right? People ask, well, why don't you give us clips of evidence, right? And, I say, okay, well, I'm going to look through the VODs and try and find, right? Because this was happening during the time where I was on my break, so I wasn't streaming. So let me see if I can find these guys see if they were streaming, that jumped me. And then suddenly, like, the response is, well, then you meted. It's like, so you're telling me that going and getting evidence from other streams and watching their streams to try and find these things is metaing in itself. Like, I got slapped with another meta charge for finding evidence for that motherfucker. It's what the fuck you want me to do, right? Fuck do you want me to do? And then I hear that they'll consider my unban if I admit I'm guilty publicly. Like, I'm going to keep it $1.50. I don't give a shit how much you hate me or how much you think I'm guilty. That in itself is some corrupt ass shit. Right? Think about it. If somebody's 100% sure that the individual in question is guilty, that ultimatum itself isn't necessary, right? You don't say admit guilt to get unbanned. If you know they're guilty, you say, hey, listen, we're going to slap you the 14-day or it's a perma. That's it. There's no admit publicly guilt. Like, that, it doesn't make any fucking sense to me. Now, this could be my paranoia and Among Us fucking, 4-time champion logic coming in. But that pissed me the fuck off. I'm going to keep it $1.50 with you. I did some impulsive bipolar shit, and I blocked the entire dev team along with, half my friends that I ended up missing 20 minutes later, and I unblocked them all. But that was just pissed me off a little bit. But anyways, when I was doing some research, CIA research, I stumbled upon this meeting that these guys were all having, right? Because I saw the clips, I saw it didn't look good, and I went to do some further investigating. And the funny part is, and this part really, it really fucks with me, right? It really, it makes me laugh a little bit, or a lot, to be frank. I could have swore these motherfuckers spent like 6 hours saying that meth labs are a waste of time. Meth is shit. It does nothing, right? It's not good. You don't make shit. It's not important. It's not good. It's irrelevant to everything. And then suddenly, right? Suddenly, we're in a situation where my key can be taken, and suddenly, you've ruined 50 storylines. This was the most important thing ever. 50 different individual streamers' storylines are ruined. Are you kidding me? This is one of the 4 fucking drug keys in the city. Like, didn't you just spend 6 hours convincing each other that these are irrelevant, that it doesn't matter, that it's shit. And then suddenly, like, there was a chance to hop in and, like, it was just, when I watched this after doing my investigation, I was just so fucking shocked. The absolute shamelessness. And then here's the crazier part, right? I know a lot of motherfuckers say, you know, I got some persecution complex. Bruh, I'm gonna keep it a $1.50. 90% of the motherfuckers that think I'm guilty, they think I meted the key. They think my possession of the key, the ownership of the meth lab was the meta. They don't even fucking know what the fucking story is. They don't even know what the fuck I'm being accused of. Like, oh man, these motherfuckers crazy. I'm telling you, these guys crazy. They're absolutely batshit. No one knows what the fuck's going on. I'm telling you. That isn't true. Wait, that's not true. Bruh, that's not true. Listen, I spent my time in my friends' chats, okay? 90% is obviously an arbitrary number. You know, I'm exaggerating for the fucking like, right? But you get my point. Most people that I interacted with were like, how did you get a key in the first place? You weren't whitelisted for a key. How'd you get it? You shouldn't have ownership of a meth lab. These are the comments I was seeing. This is like, this has nothing to do with what's going on at all. He lagging? I don't know, bro. My internet's been a little weird. But yeah, I mean, realistically, bro, there was a lot of just, a lot of weird shit. And I think out of all of it, to be honest, like two things I guess I'll say, right? First thing being this. The piece of information that I gave, right? This is how I know that it's being blown out of proportion because it's me. Anyone with even one brain cell can look at this string of information, right? Whether the information's right or it's wrong is irrelevant, right? If you look at this piece of information, right? I'll repeat it. The meth lab key is RNG. The strain is based on the RNG, right? Whether it's right or wrong is irrelevant, right? This information, it doesn't ruin any storyline, right? It really doesn't. Because you can't pick and choose a key. You can't go gamble a key. You can't say, oh shit, if that's the case, I'm going to throw this key away and go get a new key. The keys are locked in within groups. There's only 4 of them, right? They're fucking locked in. So if you have one, you're going to be stuck making your shit no matter what. You're going to spend the same amount of time making your shit. Like, right? Now I understand, you know, if you want to say like, this dude, you know, figured it out and he spent this long, it sucks that this guy figured it out like this, then fine, give me that, right? Fine. Even in a hypothetical world where I did meta, right, which I didn't, fine, drop that. But this idea where 50 storylines were ruined is the most bullshit thing I've heard of in my life. It's absolute bullshit. It's absolute bullshit. I'm telling you 100%. No fucking shot anyone with even 3 brain cells truly believes 50 storylines are ruined from that string of information. Do you understand? It's locked in. Like I can't explain this any better. You can't pick and choose. The keys are locked, right? Like they're not locked. They can disappear if you fuck up. But you can't pick which one you get. And you can't just go switch it out. The motherfuckers are worth 25K anyways. Like I can't explain. Like you either understand or you don't. So like that in itself is like all these things that are added in to make it seem like it's this thing. And then like in addition to, I'll add one more thing in, which really kind of just is the word irks, is listen, the devs have commented on this. There was one time where I was in custody of police and I DC'd. I immediately messaged the devs, I'm like, yo, my shit DC'd, I was rubber banding. I'm at the apartments right now and I'll create a storyline that fits my DC. Like instantly, when this happened, I hit them up. And they thanked me. They said, you know, you respect the rules. People have brought up that I actually RP with the doctors for hours, right? It's like when I have this clean of a record, right? and then like 50 things are exaggerated of what happened, and it's an instant permaban, right? Instant permaban, key given up to like another group. It's like that should like put a lot of signs out, right? I don't think anyone should be permabanned, right? Like, so like I'm not calling for that, but it's like those motherfuckers are, you know, they're killing. They're actually like full storylines, you know, they're affected, you know, 3, 4, 5 times. Like some people aren't even getting in trouble, some people are. But it's like to go from a clean record and to have had comments from the devs of how much like I've been good to just like an instant perma, and then like to publicly say that like I'm just unwhitelisted or like I'm just unprioritized and that I'm not permabanned. I don't know what the purpose of that is. Like they perma'd me since day one. Like I'll log in right now and you'll see permabanned. So I don't know what that is either. Like there's just so many like weird things that like I feel like that in itself should like say so much. Like I really think that in itself should say so fucking much to anyone with even fucking half a brain cell. I'm gonna keep it $1.50, right? And I think it's just that simple. Like these are things that just really really pissed me off a little bit. But if you think I'm going to publicly admit my guilt when I know I'm not guilty just to get unbanned, you are batshit. Okay. People are, you know, most of the streamers on the server, they've DM'd me privately saying, you know, I shouldn't be perma. That's the most ridiculous thing ever. Half the server, actually, there's actual proof, right, of meta. And it's not like something that can even be argued. It's like actual hard proof, and they just get slaps on the wrist, or like, you know, a 1 day or a 24, or sorry, that's the same thing, or a 48, right? Or a warning. Everyone says it. I think everyone's scared to say it publicly though, which, knowing me, you guys already know that pisses me off, right? Because like I've taken bullets for my boys, you know. But I think a lot of like new streamers, not new, but like new to like large view counts, I think they have this fear that like if they get 15 hate threads or if they say the wrong thing, that's all going to be taken away from them. But like what they don't understand is if that's how easy it is for it to be taken away, then you don't actually have it, right? It's going to go in a month or two. So is a friend worth, right, something that's temporary for people that are acting like they care in that moment, but they're going to dip in a month when everything goes down, right? I think that's the problem, right? And I'm not asking for a defense for the situation. I'm like talking about like what they tell me in DMs versus what they say publicly. So I'm not saying they should step up and say something. I'm saying what they tell me, you know, in my DMs is different from what they say publicly. Publicly, they'll take a 50-50 stance, right? And I could tell they're like scared. They're stumbling over their words. They don't want to. They're really like I could tell they're very scared of a hate thread. I could just tell. Believe me, you guys know I'm a good goddamn judge of character when it comes to who's scared of hate threads. Okay, trust me, I'm the master of hate thread motherfuckers. Okay, so that's what I mean by that. And I've communicated to some of them. I'm like, listen, in the long run, just got to be true to yourself. But these short-term games, I'm telling you, they're just not it. That part that I explained earlier of how it really doesn't ruin any, it doesn't even ruin a storyline for one person, right? That sentence of information that I said, whether it's true or not true, it does, like if you actually put like, pretend I'm Hassan, okay? Pretend I'm a nice, you know, humble sounding, humble looking man that you fucking love, okay? Now, take that sentence, okay, and look at it. Now, I say Hassan because then you can look at the sentence without any bias of, you know, evil train wreck, right? Look at the sentence, okay? I'm telling you right now, this idea that it ruins even one storyline is like, I'm telling you, just turn your brain half on. It doesn't, none of that. It doesn't affect any of it. And that is because of the way they designed it. There's 4 keys, 3 of them are fucking taken. 1 of them is in my possession. You can't trade off. The information is completely useless. It's inevitable to gain the information, whether it's true or false, right? You're going to learn it's true or you're going to learn it's false. Knowing the information does absolutely nothing for you. It does nothing for you at all because of limited keys, because of the thing that because of the system that where you can't choose or pick and choose or trade a key in, right? Like I'm telling you, it does absolutely nothing, especially in the context bar, which I think connects to exactly this. I think there is an underlying reason that is a lot more selfish and kind of embarrassing that can't be admitted to the real reason of saltiness like toward me, right? And I think it's mainly in the possession of the key, right? But like it can't be said. So what do? The first thing you find of some sort of error, you blow it up and put all of your hate from this and all of your anger from this and all of your spite from this into this, and you blow this up, right? Because this can't be admitted. You'll sound like a piece of shit even if the person's, you won't win this, right? I'm telling you. Like that's honestly that's the vibe I get. Ask Nova if you ruined his storyline LMAO. Why don't you tell me how the storyline's ruined? Who do you think the storyline's for? The storyline's for you guys, so tell me how it's ruined. So you're admitting to metaing. No, I'm not admitting to metaing. I got that information from people who jumped me, which is, it goes exactly into to the whole setup theory. 100%. 100%. It all makes perfect sense. Like my entire timeline makes sense. I was at the hippie camp with Summit and Bobby and Mr. K. Right? Before that, a while before that, I got jumped. 2 people are at the camp. I walk up and I stab one of them and almost kill them. Like everything connects. 2 people jump me. Now there's 2 people that are not disguised, so I can't be sure if they're the people who jump me or not, but my anger takes me to stab them. And this is before any of the bullshit even happened. So I couldn't have known that I'm going to say what I'm going to say from what I gained from the people who jumped me, right? And that storyline existed before like everything adds up. Some of you motherfuckers don't want to see it because, man, look at me. So no, I'm not admitting to metaing because I didn't. But it definitely does look bad, and it's one hell of a fucking coincidence. I said what I fucking feel. Do you understand? If you want, like I understand people want to believe I'm guilty, which realistically, I promise you, right? And I want to put a percentage on it, but I think some of you guys get too technical with those. But I promise you, most of these motherfuckers that think I'm guilty, they didn't even click the clip. When they read the title, they determined I was guilty before they even watched it. As soon as said Train did this, they believed it there. Because if you even gave a second to look at, like, it's not one thing. It's like 8 different things that are back to back that are completely abnormal. It is not the way they've been handled in the past. It's not the way they've been handled with even more toxic of people who have done things that have, gone into political incorrectness, that go outside of rules, right? Like everything from the way it's handled, from the punishment, right? From the 6 different directions of what was actually wrong, like everything together, you put it together, no matter how much you fucking don't like me, at least a little bit of doubt will be raised to do a little bit more research and say, okay, you know what? Like, this doesn't make sense. It's my fucking opinion. It's for them to perma you and let X with a 2-week. Well, here's the thing. I hate using my friends as examples because it's in a way it's a call to action. Because like in reality, right? Like, so like if I were to say that, they're not going to say, oh, wow, he's right. Let's go ahead and unban him. They're going to say, all right, X, you're banned too. Right? That's the outcome. So it's like, I don't want to throw my friend under the bus, right, to prove a point. Didn't it say you were permabanned while they were investigating it? Brother, I'm going to keep it $1.50. Do you actually think that, I mean, how long has it been? It's been like 5 days, right? Some shit like that, 4 days. That's been the reason. They've been investigating for 4 days. You fucking kidding me? Not even fucking IRL police take that fucking long. Okay? They ain't investigating shit. Fuck do you mean? What kind of investigation do you think this takes? Think these guys are actually going into the fucking code of the game to see the exact location of Doug Buck on coordinate 62 west, 78 longitude, and seeing the position of Chawa in the area and what model car he was in and the fingerprints on the key? Do you think this is what's going on? Investigation means let's get into a group call with our devs and let's talk about what we do with him, right? And realistically, it probably happened for a second. They said, all right, let's leave him banned for now. We'll figure it out later. We got to log in. LSF clips equals investigation. Well, it was funny because I got the same vibe from them. So I did initially talk to like two of the devs when like in the first like 10 minutes of it, but they told me, you know, that they said just go back into the game, just be cool, don't worry about it, you know, we'll talk again. I'm like, okay. And then randomly I was permabanned, you know, just like I was in the middle, I was in the car with Bobby and we're about to go cook some meth. And I just got permabanned right there, and then like I messaged them and they just like totally like 180'd. And then from there, like I didn't hear from them right again, and it's just kind of like dodgy, and like, you know, people told me to reach out to Coil and I did, but there was no response. I'm pretty sure Coil actually blocked me and unblocked me because we were following each other. And when I went to his profile, it said I'm not following him and he's not following me. So I think there's like a block unblock, right? We're like, does that make any sense? Like to me, the block unblock is like you don't want the person to know you don't fuck with him, but you don't want him following you, or you don't want to follow him. Does that make any sense? Yeah. So when that happened, I was like, okay, fuck. Like, it is what it is. And don't get me wrong, I think Coil's done a good job. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've had my disagreements with him, you know, for the last NoPixel thing. You know, I probably have my disagreements with him on this. But like they've all done a good job. Like I have to like put my bullshit aside. Like obviously I'm not happy about the situation, and I'm definitely pissed because I know there is like some favoritism and some corruption going on. But they've done a good job, right? Like I mean, knowing me, right, and for some of you that don't like me, knowing my ego, right, to be this angry and for me to know the situation I'm in and to still be able to say out loud that I missed the game, that's a direct reflection of how well the devs have done, right? So I'll give them that. It's a good fucking game and they've done well. But knowing what I know, you know what I'm saying? They ain't getting what they want. Corruption in pixels. Oh, 100%, bro. 100%. I'm telling you, bro. I'll tell you the exact philosophy and politics of this game and this city. So this is what I saw that was very... So if you guys remember, in like 2017, 2018, end of 2017, beginning of 2018, Twitch went through this entire new rule change. And in those times, I was having like full-on meetings with moderation staff. And I had this vibe that their bans and what they acted on versus when they gave warnings were entirely based off of Reddit. And that was the vibe I had. That was the feeling I had. Now, they profusely denied it, right? No, we don't look at it. We don't care. We're not going to do this, do that, blah, blah, right? And then obviously, like, time passed by, and I talked to some people that I'm friends with, and they said, yeah, they were doing that. Now, I got the same vibe with this, right? I got the same vibe, like in the first meeting I had the same fucking vibe. And I told them, too. I said it to their face. I was like, listen, you are making a deal with the devil right now, okay? Once they, because, like, the GTA RP Reddit, like, obviously they're fucking toxic and crazy motherfuckers, but I don't think they're on the level of other Reddits, right? So, like, they haven't fully learned, like, what they're capable of when people who aren't confident enough to stay consistent with their, like, values and opinions through hate, and they constantly want to be loved, right? When they don't know the power they have, when those are the people that are, like, in control and that make the decisions and they have the power over them, right? They don't actually know yet. And I think, and I told them straight, I'm like, listen, once you let them know, believe me, I've seen this happen for the last 3 years. They will, listen, it's going to be a picking and choosing. You understand? Their friends do it, it's justified because they're relatable and funny. Someone does it that's against their streamers, believe me, they're fucking gone. And if you don't fucking make them gone, you're fucking gone. It's like once you give into that, you've made the deal with the devil. And I told them that probably like 6 times. And that's a fact. That's a fucking fact. Are you mad at Hossie? No. I was like frustrated with that entire group because initially what I was told was that, so like when I was linked the clip and like I was looking at it, they told me that like that group of people were the ones that reported me. So initially I was like, the fuck kind of rat shit is this, right? It's like, sheesh, like if Hossie did this, I might throw a couple jabs at him, but I ain't reporting. You know what I'm saying? So initially, I made a fucking group DM of him, Buddha, Tony, Nino. I told them they're fucking rats. I told them to suck my dick too. And then they all messaged me and they're like, yo, Hossie texted me and we cleared it up, right? Obviously, like, it was a misunderstanding. I think the devs were trying to like protect the identity of who it actually was, right? It was just one person. It was one streamer, right? And well, I was told that it was a body of people and a group of streamers, right? But I think the group of streamers was just one streamer, and then the body of people, I believe, is Reddit, right? But yeah, so we squared it away. Me and Buddha are good. We were just talking on Discord before stream. Tony, no, I didn't put Tony in that DM actually, because Tony's good. I've always been good with Tony. You can't hate Tony actually. I just realized that. Tony, I've always been good with. I know, Tony's always went above and beyond. Like, even when he DM'd me when this happened, he's like, yo, you don't deserve a perma. I'm going to reach out to the devs. Like, there's no way you deserve a perma. And, like, everyone said that. Like, eventually, like, every single, like, major player in the city DM'd me and said I don't deserve a perma. Like, it's complete bullshit. Now, of course, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubts because who knows? You know what I mean? The devs could have opened a DM with them and they could be like, hey, he deserved the perma. You never fucking know. I'm telling you, the Twitch world, it's a dog-eat-dog world, okay? I would not be surprised if these guys talk to Coil and they're like, yeah, we banned him. They're like, hell yeah, man, he definitely did it. You know what I'm saying? I would not be surprised. But I'll give the benefit of the fucking doubt, okay? But yeah. If you'd appeal, you'd get back in. What do you mean if I'd appeal? I don't understand what that means. Do you understand? Do you understand? The appeal system is like for the people that don't have direct access, like to the devs, right? My dude, okay? I got direct access to the motherfuckers that check the appeals. Do you think that if I click the appeal button, suddenly they goes, oh, look at this. He appealed. Sure. No shot. Fucking gone for sure, dude. There's no shot. There is no fucking shot. I mean, based on what some of the like 2.0 admins told me, because the admins like have changed apparently. I don't know how it exactly works. I wasn't involved in 1.0 or 2.0, if that's the names of them or those are the names. But from what they told me, the streamer involved is like one of the golden children of the devs, and he gets a lot of like handouts and like free stuff from so like that like cleared up a lot of the stuff too, right? Because there's a lot of things that don't make sense to me of how it's handled, but like now it does, right? You know what I'm saying? If I ran a city and X Greek, you know what I'm saying? They're being fucked with, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you fuck with the boys, you're gone. So it is what it is. Mehdi doesn't get handouts. Why would you think I'm talking about Mehdi? Why would you think I'm talking about Nino? I'm not talking about Nino. The individual streamer I'm talking about is not Nino. What are you talking about? What about the Changgang boys? Dude, the argument, dude, I cannot stand how many okay, there was 3 major switch ups I've seen by these, I don't know if there's like separate Reddit communities, whether it's the RP or wherever. Man, these motherfuckers are bad shit, dude. You want to listen? I will give you 3 things that will prove to you it's not a victim complex. Are you ready? These were the most shameless things, okay? So the first one was what we talked about already, right? That's not a big deal. It's complete shit. Who cares about it? Let's move on, right? Let's get out of this business, blah, 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 whatever the fuck, right? And then suddenly, it's this huge thing, 50 storylines ruined, right? We talked about that. Number 2, do you guys remember in Among Us when I took my shit real serious? Let me ask you a question. Do you remember me getting credibility and love for that? Do you remember me being called the Messiah and great and a leader? Fuck no. I was called all kinds of fucked up shit, taking a party game serious, ruining everyone's time, blah, 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 blah. Now, you see this guy? I used to have respect for Train. He stood up in Among Us. What he did was amazing for Among Us. But to see him come to this game and not take his own advice, what a hypocrite. what? No shot. When I saw that, I was like, holy fuck. And then that's not all. That's not all. The third one, where was the third one? See, it was an anti-cheat in Among Us, so this looks bad now. It doesn't look bad because I'm not guilty. It only looks bad if you are convinced I'm guilty. Like, I'm not guilty. Do you understand? Like, I'm confused. It looks bad now. Absolutely fucking shameless. Why not prove your innocence? Brother, I've been scouring VODs of these two individuals that were fully blacked out with voice changers. What do you want me to do? Like, what do you want me to do? I wasn't streaming. It was during my break. What do you want me to do? I stabbed and almost killed the wrong motherfucker. I almost killed a streamer because I thought it was them. And then Summit told me it wasn't them. What do you want me to do? Like you say, get evidence. Like, what do you want me to do? I'm confused. Not guilty, by the way. I mean, technically speaking, right? If you think they have substantial and evidence that's hard, I wouldn't be given an ultimatum to prove my to admit my guilt to be unbanned, right? That in itself is a little weird. It was Chain Gang. Thank you. So it wasn't the actual individuals of Chain Gang. It was I remember when I was playing, everyone's like, "Nah, he's not in CG. He thinks he's in, but he's not. Like, what a dumbass. These guys have been together for years. You know, he's not even entry level. All this stuff, right?" And then when I made my post about the monopoly that's being ran in the game, suddenly everyone's saying, how can he say that? What a hypocrite. He was literally part of CG. You want to say I got a victim complex? These motherfuckers have played both sides on me on 3 major fucking things that they've used to give me hate. Okay? I don't give a fuck if you don't like me. You got to step away and be like, holy fuck, this shit is shameless. Working my way up in RP world. I don't think you can work your way up. There's a ceiling, realistically, I think. It's a conspiracy. Well, the situation I was involved in was a conspiracy, and unfortunately, you know, my situation was a terrible coincidence, and it looks terrible, so I can understand where some people are coming from, but unfortunately, they're still wrong. When I say unfortunately, I mean, you know, it's not the truth that they wanted, but they're wrong. Would I explain the monopoly? I mean, if you can't understand the monopoly, then you want me to actually explain it? I can explain it pretty easily, right? Like, there is, so, I can explain it. Okay. So listen, it goes beyond the game, right? It goes beyond the game. It goes to like, it goes to the politics of like Twitch as well. You understand? And it also branches off to like why people are sidelined and why people want to be the main character and why when, you know, the main character dynamics shift, usually there's, you know, usually like some sort of like, I don't want to say dissonance, but like, you know, separations and fights begin to happen and people start getting in trouble. So there is like some people who are like special, right? When I say special, I mean like they're just gifted at RP, right? Poke's one of them. Poke's very good at RP. You know, Bog is an absolutely amazing character. I mean, fuck, like kind of like Donnie with Hassan, right? I like Donnie more than I like Hassan. Like I wish I was watching Donnie on Twitch. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Like I love Poke, but I wish, you know, I mean, when your RP character, you know, when I'm beginning to like your RP character more, you are one talented motherfucker, right? And like Poke is one of those guys. Like Bog is fucking hilarious. He's just funny, right? He's good. Like these guys obviously have certain golden tickets where normally, right, because of the way the server works, they wouldn't really make it anywhere without being a supporting role and, you know, giving what they have up and, you know, taking the scraps, typical bullshit, right? But if you're really talented, you gain the public, right? The public pushes you up, right? It kind of works, you know, in America, right? You know, if you're stuck in the system, some lucky people get the golden ticket where, you know, they're only accepted in because they have a huge majority of people that like them, and that is, you know, seen as power and money and all these things, right? So putting those 4 or 5 cases aside, there was just like a power dynamic, right? And I understand people justify this by saying, well, these are veterans, blah, 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 blah. But I think it goes beyond that. People don't realize what it's actually about, right? This isn't about the game. It's not about the love for GTA. This is strictly about viewership and money. It has nothing to do with, oh, these are veterans, it's their server, like, let them, like, love their game. It has nothing to do with any of that. Believe me. Like, it is strictly about viewership, and it's strictly about that, right? And this happens it's not just GTA. This happens in every single category, every single game that comes out, right? There is going to be one group that controls it. And if you're not part of the group, but you start gaining a little bit, you will be exiled. You will be forced out, right? Because it's inefficient. So like this happens everywhere. So like don't get me wrong, this isn't like a call out for GTA. This is just the dynamics of Twitch streaming, unfortunately. Join SSB? No. Listen, at the end of the day, they can run their server how they want. Do you understand? Like, I'm going to stay consistent with my, like, Among Us argument, right? If people know how XQC plays, but they want to be in his group for the clout, they can't complain that they don't like how he plays. They can go join another group. So it's like, this is how the servers ran. The positives of the server make it worth to endure it, right? So, like, if you don't like it, you don't play. It's that simple. Damn. I guess you guys truly believe, like, I've egoed out or something. Listen, like, I haven't, like, played this hard-ass thing where, like, I'm like, fuck them then. Like, the reason, like, I got to that point, listen, I've sent each of them probably, like, 16 paragraphs that went unread, right? Like, this isn't a thing where I said, fuck them then. Fuck them for punishing me. I'm Trainwreck. Like, that wasn't the fucking case. I sent in fucking 16 paragraphs to each of them, detailing and fucking talking about everything, right? And then the moment I saw them, like, kind of ignore this and then, like, instantly jump to address Reddit, like, that kind of just, like, fortified, you know, all of my theories and all of, you know, what I thought was going on, right? It's like, I mean, there's nothing that's, you know, right? Like, you either get it or you don't, right? It is what it is. You think Quill approved your ban? Yeah, of course. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe he was too busy. I don't know. You know, Buddha was permabanned a month before the Rust boom? Yeah, I heard about the entire thing. I know all the details. I know everything that went down. I know the length of the ban. I know why he was banned. I know who reported him. Trust me, I know everything. There's a lot of, like, the RP world, there's a lot of weird shit. I'm going to keep it a buck. Like, I'm not going to talk about that stuff because, like, that information I was told, like, can't be talked about. But some weird shit going on in the RP world. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? People tolerating each other for, you know, the appearances, and just some weird shit going on, but it is what it is. It's like, Denzel was the craziest motherfucker in that entire group. And then, like, I got invited by, like, CG, and I spent 1 hour with CG, and in that 1 hour, I literally killed, like, 50 NPCs, you know, robbed 20 streamers, killed 10 streamers, or, you know, almost killed 10 streamers, right? Robbed 7 houses, you know, got ready for a bank heist, but there was no VPN. It's like, in an hour, if I do that, like, I was told in Clean Boys that you can't do that you'll get banned off the server if you do that. Then I joined CG. These motherfuckers were wild. It's like, the fuck do you, of course, I'm going to go with people that are more my style. You know what I'm saying? Sheesh. I got to actually shoot my gun and not get bitched at for it. I got medals. The way I shot, I got medals. You know what I'm saying? They're like, damn, hell yeah. So, like, that's why I left, right? Like, and, like, I understand, right? Like, the game's, like, set up around, like, groups of 4 people. So it's like, you know, I was the 5th wheel. So, like, on a lot of things, they just kind of had to roll together, right? So it's like, I just decided to go do my things. Rami was defending you hard. Yeah. Rami's the homie. I talked to Rami a lot off stream as well. I mean, I'll be honest. Like, even if I got unbanned, I think, like, I would do things so differently after, like, knowing what I know and seeing what I've seen. Like, just, like, knowing what I know that I've tried explaining to you guys today, I would literally just make my own crew, right? And I'm going to do my own thing, like, in a way where, like, I'm going to get to the top. And if they don't like it, they can ban me again, right? Like, because that's what I feel like it's come down to. And I know you guys find that super delusional and, like, you know, I understand that. But I'm telling you, like, there is a whispered under the table rule in that server where like it's like know your place, and if you overstep that place, like there's gonna be consequences. Like I'm telling you, it's there. So like I don't know if they'd even want me back because like I have no problem playing supportive roles. I have no problem. Honestly, I'd rather it. You know what I mean? I get to do my bathroom breaks. You know what I'm saying? But when I know there's a glass ceiling over my head and there's only a certain place I could go to, unless I have connections, it's unmotivating, right? It's unmotivating, and then like it sucks. Does that make sense? And I feel like it takes away from what GTA is supposed to be. I mean, the entire of GTA is literally like going from like it's literally like all those apps that you see, those app games where you see like level 1 mob boss, level 2, level 100, right? That's literally the point of GTA. It's a more complex version of that. But it's like, you know what I mean? Like when you're stuck underneath a level and, you know, all the main things that kind of get you places or around you know, like it's unmotivating. So it's like even if I did come back, like I'm going own crew, you know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers getting robbed, you know, I'm going to hoard whatever money I can, whatever, you know, items I can. I'm going in. It's going to be a whole new fucking Doug Buck. Make a comeback with X. The problem is me and X, I feel like me and X, when we stream together, it's awkward. I don't know if that's just me. It feels awkward. And here's why, okay? I love XQC. I watch a lot of his stream. I think he's hilarious. The haircut thing today was fucking funny. The dumbass didn't realize that the hair he needed to cut was the bottom layer of the back, and he kept grabbing the side and cutting it shorter and shorter. And like, here's the crazy part. Like, I was talking to my girlfriend. I was like, I think he's grabbing the wrong hair area, because I think he's reached his hands so like far back that I think his hands have gone numb. So like he's like, and then like literally 5 seconds later he says that exact thing, and I was like, I fucking told you. Like it was such a coincidence, and it was so funny. He's just XQC, you know, just funny guy. But like my point to this is, I think me and XQC streaming types don't match. It's like two positive sided magnets, right? Like he needs like a moxie that will bounce off, and then I need that as well, right? It's the same reason why, like, even though when me and Nick stream it's funny, me and Nick have the same personality type in that way too, where we can't be together too long, right? It's gonna be funny for the hour that we're together, but after that, we're gonna get annoyed of each other, right? That's just how it is. Yo, Ask Chris, thanks to 25 gifted. Boys, we gotta get back to 10K. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Y'all could both be bosses. The math was a slow burn, so it made sense to why only certain people got access to it. But
love you, Doma.
See,
should keep it
that
HP.
information alone is why I keep saying that I don't think people that like are weighing in on my situation actually are informed at all. People keep saying that you had to be whitelisted for the meth labs and you couldn't get the key without metaing. It's like that has nothing to do with anything that happened or that I was accused of. I literally got the key in the most legit way possible, right? Summit showed me the area, or whoever it was, maybe it was Mr. K. I camped the fucking guy, and I paid 250 shungite for the fucking key. It's like, I keep seeing this like misinformation. Dude, I camped that motherfucker for a minute, dude. That cocksucker. I was pissed too. I remember like I was checking it constantly. Motherfucker was 100 shungite. It was $10,000 for a key. I remember I checked again. I think like the tsunami hit or something like that. And I come back on and like that motherfucker changed from 100 shungite to 250, from 10K to 25K. I had to get a loan from fucking Marlo. I had to call the casino, get a fucking loan from Marlo, told him about the business. And then Trey came up to me like 2 hours later saying Marlo told him about the deal and that he's part of Pegasus. Like, and then Trey was talking about the, you know, that business. It's like, everything is accounted for. Like it was going to be a crazy time. I just want the strain's purity. Well, whether that information is false or true is irrelevant. But I got that information from the two people that jumped me. I asked them why they needed or why they wanted 2 keys. And they literally told me that information. Now, whether that information was false and it was planted, versus whether it was true is still what I'm trying to figure out, because if we talk about planting, then we're talking a whole different level. We're talking these motherfuckers more CIA than I was. Why did you lie and say you got that info from Google or CIA then? I don't understand why that part's so hard to grasp. Like, I'm so confused. Like, I'll give you a great example of why I'm confused. That day, I was literally like talking to Summit, and he wasn't in the game, right? But I talked to him like 2 hours before. And it's like in the game, right? I'm going to say I talked to him. He woke up in between his sleep and texted me, right? It just, whatever, you just, right? You know, devs actually have logs to check shit
once
whatever
again
you buy or
asking
acquire.
for your
Yeah,
financial
I assume they have
support.
more than that. I assume they have fucking everything. I assume they have an entire recording of the server. Like, I assume they have a play and rewind feature. I mean, I don't know where that would be stored, because that'd be gigabytes. Fuck, that'd probably be terabytes of data. But I would not be surprised. Like, I assume that'd be the case, right? They have logs, but probably not full-blown videos. I assume that they had full-blown, like, recordings.